Hello, everyone. I didn't realize how big this room is going to be, but thank you, everyone, for joining me in this session where we will be talking about how the Seahawks will be going to the Super Bowl this year. Just kidding. For that, that's at 7 p.m. today, if anyone's interested. But today, we'll be talking about live events. My name is Ashwin Appiah. I'm a senior PM working on Teams, specifically on Teams meetings, on live events. And I just want to say how grateful I am to be working for this product where I have face-to-face interaction with our lovely customers, partners, and everyone who's invested in this. So thank you so much for coming to this talk today, this session, to learn more about live events. So in this session, we'll be talking about three things. The first one being how live events fits into the overall communication spectrum. Second, we'll be talking about the technical aspects of Teams live events. And third, we'll be talking about the best practices for you to be able to have a successful live event. At the end, we'll spend some time for Q&A, and I'll also be available afterwards as well for any questions. So before we get into the details, I just want to really step back and talk about the framework that we're thinking of when we talk about meetings and live events. Today, we have various different types of meetings, going from all hands to Scrum, and a lot of different meetings in between. One of the biggest questions that I get is, why do we have meetings? Like, what are meetings for? Essentially, the way that we think about it is there are certain things that you do within your organization. Build a product, market an initiative, anything. You have a goal. And it all starts with why. Why do we do it? So there are meetings talking about the why. And then there's the what. There are meetings talking about the what. And then there's how. And then there are meetings talking about the how. So when we use those three to categorize meetings, it gets a little more clear. But what is that thread that ties everything together? The one thing that we think is scale. If you look at the way that it's organized, more people for the whys, and it gets lower and lower as you get more collaborative for figuring out the hows. Second is structure. It's about how you pass your information. Essentially, is it one way? Is it collaborative? It's really important to note that structure and scale aren't one-to-one correlated. You can have a small meeting with high structure. But that's why we think it's more of a map. When we really put it in a map, you can see all these scenarios really fit in to certain areas of the map. You have high structure, high scale. And today, in our product, we have a product that allows you to do high scale and high structure. We have a scenario up there where you will be able to fulfill that part of the map. Second, we have another product which you've heard a lot about that fulfills the bottom, low scale and low structure. In those scenarios, one is produced one-to-many, the other is ad hoc collaboration. And as you can guess, one is Microsoft 365 Live Events, the other is Teams meetings. And as I mentioned before, Microsoft Live Event, or M365 Live Events, is high structure, high scale, up to 10K, and it's one-way communication for you to be able to broadcast your message. And Teams meetings is more geared towards collaboration, up to 250, and the ability for everyone to be able to turn on their mic and to be able to speak and collaborate. Today, we'll be really focusing on Microsoft 365 Live Events. Just a bit of details before we move forward. Who can create these events? It's available in all ESQs as well as A3 and A5. as well as for certain scenarios, you need Microsoft Stream license as well. So now in this section, we'll really dive into the technical aspects of Teams live events. So back to this, the scenario map. Even within Microsoft 365 live events, there are two separate scenarios. One that is self-produced, another which is studio-produced or app and device produced. So self-produced is really geared towards the single person that wants to be able to broadcast their message, like a tech talk or a product demo, where they really want to be able to quickly be able to produce a high-quality live event right from their laptops. App and device produced is really geared towards the studios or the individuals that have encoders and equipment to be able to quickly connect your equipment to a streaming platform to be able to broadcast. So really getting into the details, the way that we think about it is in the different components of the stage of the broadcast itself. So when you first start out, you schedule. And we'll really get into the differences between the two, because I really want us to understand, hey, there are key differences based on the scenario. And the differences are catered so that the scenario can succeed. So if you look at it from a scheduling point of view, self-produced, because it is very Teams-focused, you'll be able to schedule from Teams, as well as app and device. You'll be able to schedule from all three products. Production, as I mentioned, self-produced is really focused on producing within your laptop, so you'll be able to produce in Teams. As well as on the other side, app and device production, you have your own encoders as well as your software to be able to broadcast. Delivery, and this is one point that I really want to emphasize, is it's different today. One is going through Azure Media Services with the Azure Media Player. The other is going through Stream, which also uses AMS, or Azure Media Player, but it's a forked version where they have built on top of it. And then from the watching point of view, you'll be able to watch in Teams, and in apps and device, you'll be able to watch everywhere. And then from an Engage, we provide you with two different options. We have Q&A as well as Yammer. So really getting into the details of self-produced, I'll walk you through a demo and explain what is really happening in each stage. So to quicken the scenario, I've already created a live event. So as you can see here in the meeting details, I can see the people that have been invited. I've invited 2 different presenters. As well as after the event, I can come back and I can see the resources here, like the attendee report. So if I click on join, I will be shown the pre-join screen, very similar to a meeting. And then I can click on join. So when this is happening right now, when you're getting into the meeting, we're really spinning up all the microservices needed for the live event to be successful. All the different components, we're spinning it up and ensuring that it's up and running for you to be quickly go into the live event and be able to start very fast. So I'm going to join as well as a presenter through another machine so that you can see where other presenters show up. I think this might be not working. I'm going to put it here. But let me walk you through this scenario where I will put myself up live. So as you can see here at the bottom, you'll be able to select all your different presenters. Everyone will be showing up right here. So from a architectural point of view, this is built on top of a Teams meeting. So all the goodness that we build for Teams meetings, the resiliency, the performance fixes, everything will be able to be consumed in live events as well. As much as it's two different products, we're really trying to emphasize the fact that we're reusing and making sure that we're building together as one product. So when I click on the video right here, it puts it up into the queue. The queue is essentially a place for you to ensure that everything looks good before you send live. So when I clicked on that, it subscribed to the video. Now when I'm ready to go live, I can click on Send Live. And what it's doing is essentially the microservices, the broadcast microservices, is essentially composing it and starting the encoding process so that when you press start, it's ready to go to Azure Media Services. When I click on start, it's essentially like opening the gates. It will send the multiple bit rates to Azure Media Services and essentially deliver it through the multiple layers to the attendees. So now, once it goes red, that is when you know your attendees will be able to see what you're seeing up there. Because it's going through multiple different layers, it's being encoded, decoded, it will inherently have a delay, a small delay, because of the streaming, the nature of streaming and the different components and layers that we have for you to be able to deliver this content to your attendees flawlessly. So now when I end the broadcast, it will essentially spin down all the microservices and ready the recording so that the same link that your attendees used can be used as a recording link as well. So if anyone missed the live event afterwards, they'll be able to use the same link for the recording. So we essentially really went through the different steps here, and we emphasized on this portion, the one that's in green right there, bright green. We really looked at the different layers and the different components that go on during the process of sending a video live. Two things to note is, one, we are utilizing the meeting services, as I mentioned, and two, there are broadcast-specific services that we have to be able to compose and send to Azure Media Services for a smooth delivery to your users. So just a bit of features in going through the different things that we have for you to offer. From a scheduling point of view, you'll be able to schedule through Teams, and we have full Exchange integration. You'll be able to schedule it as well as put it on the calendars of your presenters. And we know how important it is for it to be able to be seamless. And when you go through this process, you'll be able to put in all the information very quickly in a familiar form, as well as put it on the calendars of the presenters that will be speaking at your event. From producing point of view, as you saw, we're trying to emphasize on being able to go and quickly start a live event click of a button. We want to be able to provide this opportunity and this tool to every single person in the workplace. We truly believe that going live and broadcasting your message is something that shouldn't be just for people that have studio equipment. We believe it's going to be something that people are going to start using more and more, and for everyone to be able to do it is something that's key for us. And then from an attending point of view, from an attendee point of view, you'll be able to watch from any device, mobile, web, or desktop. And we're trying to make it very seamless in terms of, we want to be where the attendees are in terms of devices. So we're really emphasizing the fact that you can watch from anywhere. And as well as from an engaging point of view, as much as it's one way, we're trying to create a structured engagement. So you'll be able to ask questions through moderated Q&A. So app and device production. I'm going to quickly go through this. There are other sessions that Stream will be hosting around specifically going in depth for this. So as I mentioned, app and device production is really geared towards the studios or people that have equipment, encoders, to be able to quickly and efficiently connect their encoders to a streaming or broadcast service. So as I mentioned, Stream is heavily invested and heavily involved in this scenario. And it goes through Stream's back end to be able to connect these encoders to a broadcasting platform. So really, what we're trying to do here is being able to connect your encoder to a service through RTMP. And we make it really easy to be able to connect within any device that you're in, anywhere, Teams, Stream, or Yammer. You'll be able to click on the link or click on a drop-down and select the device and seamlessly be able to connect your device or app to Microsoft Stream. And then we'll give you a preview right beforehand. So before you're sharing with your audience, you can make sure what you're producing in your encoder is showing up in Stream or Teams, and you're ready to go in terms of clicking on Start so that your attendees will be able to see your event that you're producing through the encoder. You'll have analytics as well as caption support, 708 caption support. So a lot of people ask me, even before my broadcasting days, what is an encoder? So an encoder is a device. It can be open source, it can be software-based or hardware-based, where you're essentially bringing in multiple streams and being able to combine multiple streams into one output. And today you have apps as well as I mentioned, software and hardware encoders. And there are some compatible encoders over there that Microsoft Stream works with to ensure that they're compatible. So the next portion of this is around best practices. So we really think that, as I showed you in the map before, live events is really geared towards high scale. There's a lot of impact for live events, and being able to do a successful live event and ensure that it is successful is one of the key things. So going over these best practices is something that's is useful, especially if you're new to the product. So from an organize and prepare point of view, even before you start this whole process, you want to ensure you have the right permissions as well as the policies are set. Especially if you're coming in new to Microsoft Teams, you want to ensure that you have your video policies and you've given permission for live events to the right people. We give you granular control so that you'll be able to give permission to only a set of people. So you don't have to turn it on for everyone. You can just turn it on for people that are interested in broadcasting live events, or just maybe a group of people in your studios. So once you get to a point where you have this available to your users, you want to first start out from a planning process, really figuring out who the people are that should be invited. Who are the moderators? Who are the presenters? Who are people that are supporting me? Who are the other producers? And really gathering all that information beforehand. If you don't, that's fine. We will give you opportunities to be able to bring them in, even during the live event. But having this preparation is really key. And then secondly, knowing the type of event you're going to have really leads to the options that you want to provide to your users. Options like, hey, do I want Q&A? Do I want to be able to have them ask questions? Or do I want to be able to have a recording available to my attendees afterwards? Those are some of the things that, that you need to really look out for before you actually schedule. And then from an invitation process, it's great that you scheduled it. It's great for your presenters. It's in their calendars. But now getting the word out, getting it advertised or getting it marketed to your attendees. So you want to ensure that you're crafting an email or an event, or a meeting invite from Outlook so that it's really easy and seamless for them to find that link. I've seen so many emails where it's beautiful, it's nice, but I can't find that link. Sometimes when in a live event, you join like maybe 2 minutes late, you really just want to find that link, so make it very easy. Second is you want to be able to use a short link service. So you want to be, so we provide you with a Teams link, which is great. You can give that Teams link to users, but our best practice and our suggestion is to use a link shortener. So in case anything, you want to redirect users to another stream that you have, maybe a secondary stream, it's very easy for you to do. Secondly, this is very ironic to say, but when you're sending out an invite, do not use a Teams meeting. Use an Outlook invite, an email, put it in chat. Because of the fact Teams meetings automatically puts a meetings URL at the bottom, we don't want confusion in terms of, hey, which link do I press? And then second, ensure that your users have, or finally, ensure that your audience has Teams enabled. One of the requirements is for your users to be able to watch, you need to have Teams enabled. You need to have them access to Teams, because from an attendee point of view, which I will show in shortly, you're essentially watching within the Teams experience. So with that said, let me demo the scheduling experience. So once you're in the calendar form, you would go up to New Meeting, and then click on this drop-down to be able to schedule a live event. Once you're here, you can put in a title, Test Live Event, and all the other basic information about your live event. Finally, in this screen, you'll be able to put in your presenters, as well as anyone else that you want to invite as supporting cast for your live event. So you can click on this right here and click on which role that they want to do. Producer role essentially gives you full access, as you saw earlier, around sending videos live as well as starting and stopping an event. Presenters are geared towards people that are there just to speak. They'll be able to turn on their mic, their video, share. It's very much like a meetings experience, but that is all the functionality that they get. It's great for guest speakers. The next portion, you'll be able to select granular options about the live event itself. You'll be able to select what permission levels, and wait, hey, it's grayed out. So something to look after is you need to have certain policies turned on for you to be able to have a public live event. That is one of the things that we provide so that users don't create live events in your organization that are public in nature. The second portion of it is you get to select which type of production you want. As I mentioned, there are two different scenarios. One is Teams production, where you're producing within Teams. And then the second one is external app or device. And you'll be able to select either of those through Teams itself. And then once you select, you can select all the granular options like Q&A. And then once you hit schedule, it will take you to a screen where you can copy the attendee link. This is really important. This invite that I created is, one, to be able to set up the broadcast itself for your presenters and producers, but it's also so you can have it on your calendar. The next step is really just sending it out to your attendees, and we're really focusing on a two-step process because we know a lot of users within an organization have a process to follow in terms of how they send out invites to their attendees, whether it's through corp comms or any other process. We're making it very flexible for you to be able to just copy that link and send it any way, any method that you would like to your attendees. So I can copy this link and then send it out. So that's essentially the scheduling process, and we're trying to make it very seamless and familiar for a Teams user. So as you saw, it's very similar to meetings, but there are granular options that you have to choose for your live event. So the second portion of best practices is around equipment and network and delivery. So the first thing is test. I can't emphasize this enough. Test as much as possible. As I mentioned at the beginning, this has a lot of impact, especially for the fact that a lot of these events have your CEO being the center stage at this, and you want to be able to make it be flawless. So test as much as possible. Test beforehand in the auditorium or room that you will be in. So you're really testing the real life scenario at that place. So I can't emphasize this enough. Test. From an equipment point of view, we definitely make it easy for you to be able to produce through your laptop. And your laptop mic is great, but if you're going to do a high impact live event, let's just say a CEO speech on a stage, using your laptop mic over there, I don't think it will really capture it. So if you're really doing an event that's more high profile, really use the right equipment. A laptop mic is great when you're sitting right in front of it, but it might not be that great if I'm like walking away from it. And then from a lighting point of view, ensure that lighting is great. From a video point of view, like there are many times where it might look great for us, but it's not for the user because of the way that we're looking at it. And then secondly, if you have people being able to support you in the production experience, ensure that there's at least one person being able to monitor what is going on for your attendees. We provide you with a hook and Q&A, so if attendees do see something wrong, they can quickly be able to tell you. But having someone there really minimizes the time that it takes. So nothing will go wrong, but just as a best practice, having someone be there to be able to see the attendee experience and ensure everything is all right is something that we suggest. And then from a network and delivery point of view, this is really dependent on your network, your organization, but utilizing a ECDN partner is something that we suggest. We have great partners, Hive or Collective, and they're out there in the hall, so you can definitely go talk to them. And they really offer a great service, both for peering, so that you're really optimizing your network and everyone's not going to getting it at the same time, as well as they really, really do a great job on analytics, from attendee analytics. Some of the analytics they have around where they're watching from, what countries. It's really great to be able to see that and the impact that your live event has. And we also recommend for presenters and producers a minimum of 10 Mbps bandwidth for your presenters. It's really important, especially to be hardwired, but you can use Wi-Fi as well. So let me go back and show you the attendee experience so that you have the whole loop of scheduling, producing, and attendee. Just give me 1 second as I bring this up. So one thing to note here is, even as a producer, in this screen, you'll be able to see what attendees are seeing by clicking on this attendee link right here. I can also, if I'm not logged in, be able to go to the web and be able to see it there as well. But to just show you the attendee experience, let me click here as a producer. So as you can see, you can watch the attendee experience within Teams. And we're trying to really make it look like and have that experience right within Teams, so it's very familiar to them as they transition to using Teams meetings as well. On the right side, you can see the Q&A. You'll be able to ask questions there, as well as see other people's questions as well. And when you go to a chat that you received, you'll be able to still watch the live event docked out on the right side right here, and you can multitask. So it's really great for you to be able to passively watch a live event as well as multitask if needed. So we're really emphasizing the fact that we're integrated fully into the experience of Teams. So just a quick recap, we first looked at where Teams and Teams meetings as well as Teams live events really fits into the spectrum. It's a spectrum of scale and structure. And there are so many different scenarios out there to fulfill, but we have two separate scenarios. One that sits in high structure, high scale, which is Teams live events, and one that's low structure, low scale, more collaborative, that is Teams meetings. Next, we looked at the technical aspects of Teams live events, the different layers it goes through, the different components, and the differences between the two scenarios that we have today and the reasons why. And then finally, we looked at best practices. The best practices for you to have a successful live event. We're really striving at Teams to be able to not only provide you with tools to have a meeting or to have a live event, we're really striving to be able to provide you with the tools to be successful in your meeting, to be successful in your live event. And these best practices will help go towards that as well. So those are some session resources at the end that you'll be able to click on when you have access to the deck. And finally, I'm going to pause there for any questions. But before that, you went through the different layers today of the meeting's learning path. This one is the final one that we will be doing. I hope you found all of them useful, starting from Teams meetings all the way to high-scale products like Teams live events. And I think I'm supposed to say, please fill out a survey. If you're interested in the Seahawks, it's a 5, I guess, I hope. But if not, be honest, it's really helpful for us. And I'm going to pause there for questions.
Hi, thank you. So we had a lot of successful adoption of Microsoft Team live events, but one of the scenarios we haven't run into yet is with external producers and presenters. So is that something Microsoft Team live events can handle?
So just a clarifying question there. When you say external, do you mean just completely external outside of your tenant?
Correct.
So that's a really good question. So today, we provide you access to be able to invite people within your organization, as well as federated users, as well as guest users. But external is not something that, that's available right now. It's something that we're thinking about, but it's not available right now. If you want to be able to bring those in, you could create them as guest accounts within your tenant. Or if they're partner companies, you could federate them as well. So we give you those two options.
So when you say guest, you mean business to business through Azure Active Directory? Or
they're essentially a guest within your tenant. So you'd have to give them guest access to your tenant.
Okay. And just lastly, if our participants are external, do they need to have a Teams account, or will they be able to just watch through the web as a guest?
So for for participants as in attendees,
Yes.
attendees will be able to, they don't need a Teams account. If you have a public live event, you'll be able to watch anonymously through the Teams app, so you won't need to be able to sign in and have that account created for those users.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Yep.
So my questions are based on the Skype meeting broadcast client, because I haven't used this yet. So is the web client gone then? Is there no viewing via the web client now in the Teams version?
So no, you'll be able to watch through the web. We allow you to be able to sign in through Teams, authenticated or unauthenticated if you have a public event through the web.
Okay, is there desktop sharing yet, or is it still just PowerPoint kind of sharing?
That is a great question. We have desktop sharing. You'll be able to share through desktop as well as share specific apps on your desktop as well.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, have you thought about attendee sign-up? So our presenters or producers can see how many are interested.
How many attendees?
Yeah.
So we support up to 10,000 attendees. So you'll have, from a limits point of view, you'll have ability to bring in 9 presenters.
What I meant, some kind of sign-up, so the attendees could sign up.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry about that, apologies. So currently we don't have functionality around registration or email. Those are some of the things that we're thinking about, but I can't share those dates with you right now.
Thank you.
So with Skype for business broadcasting, you couldn't share a desktop. With Teams, you could share a desktop, but you can't share static content and just have an audio stream. So is that going to be coming?
Great question. So you'll be able to share your desktop, and if I understand this correctly, you're asking around, will I be able to share content that is shared in the desktop, like a video?
Because the stream is now just video, and it's killing our networks and that. So before with Skype broadcasting, we couldn't share a desktop when you want to do a demo or something like that. Now you can only share a desktop and not share some static content. So I'm just wondering if you're going to give us the choice to share just static content again.
No, that's a really good question. So again, I can't share the specifics on this, but we are definitely thinking about that, very similar to Teams meetings where you'll be able to share static content.
Okay, thanks.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, we're just rolling out Teams now, and because we have over 90 offices, we're going to do it remote. So if I want to demonstrate Teams, can I use Teams to do that?
That's a great question, because one of the specifics around that is because we're tied very deeply with Teams meetings, you can't be joined to 2 different calls at once. So as I mentioned, it broadcasts the Teams live events as a producer. The backings of it is Teams meetings. So you can be able to share through a Teams meeting as well as show the desktop experience of the production UI. You can show everything else but till the production UI.
And what if I use Skype? Can I then?
Yeah, I believe you can. I'll follow up on that. I believe you can, yes.
Thank you.
You said you can only share PowerPoints in Skype.
It's not broadcast. I believe you mentioned just SFB.
So I had a quick question on the overall Teams meeting strategy. You showed the dashboard where you had the small meetings up to 250 people and then the large scale meetings up to 10,000 people. There's a whole lot of white space in the middle there. What's the roadmap for filling that up?
That's a great question. We do have a lot up there. As I mentioned, there are a lot of scenarios, a lot of things that we can do. And again, I can't really share the specifics around this, but it's something that we're thinking about. And it's stark, and you can see it there. So it's definitely something that we are thinking about as well. So I can't share specifics around that. Sorry about that.
Okay, thanks.
You mentioned recordings. Can you turn off the recording so it can't be recorded in a live event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can turn it off for your attendees, as well as for yourself. You'll be able to turn off the recording so you won't have that recording.
Can you record it, but not send the attendees the link of what's recorded? So only you have the recording?
Yeah, you can do that as well. So we give you granular options in the scheduling page to select that.
So I've actually tested it out, and I think it's pretty great. A couple of things that we noticed when testing was, will there be any ability to add branding, like our company logo, for example?
No, great question. And again, it's definitely top of our mind to be able to provide you with an experience where it's your company. It feels like your company. So it's definitely some of the things that we're thinking about.
The other thing was, so we've been using Skype for business broadcast for a while, and we like that as soon as an attendee clicks the link, they just get thrown into the lobby. So they're immediately waiting for the broadcast to start. When we did our testing with the live events, they were met with this splash screen basically asking them if they wanted to download the app or use the web app. Is there any plan to just kind of throw them into the web app and then maybe give them a download option afterwards?
Yeah, one of the key things that we've gotten feedback on and things that we've seen ourselves is being able to get to where you want to get to very quickly is important. So rest assured that's top of my mind. We've had like multiple talks about that, even last week, about how we can do that. So optimization for attendees is very important, and a lightweight way to just watch is important as well.
Thank you.
Hi, I only got a couple of questions. Number one is there a limit on the number of producers and presenters?
Really good question. So two parts to that. One is, as I mentioned, it's the broadcast experience or the live event production experience has a backing of Teams meetings. And Teams meetings has a 250-person limit. But really, if you notice in a Teams meetings, only around 9 or 10 people can have their videos turned on at once. Mm-hmm. So to optimize for the Teams production, our suggestion is up to 9 presenters, because if you have more than that, you won't be able to see their video at the bottom of the production UI.
Yeah. How about producers?
It's the same. It's both producers and presenters combined. It's 9.
Okay, got it. And then also, while one of the presenters, of course, you can only present, only one of them can be doing presentation at any given time. While they're giving the presentation, can the producer communicate with the other presenters who are getting ready out of band?
No, good. Another great question. So from an AV, from a talking point of view, unfortunately, that's not there today. Mm-hmm. What you're seeing is what will be given to your live event, so you don't have a separate channel for being able to talk. To be able to accomplish that, there is a meeting chat functionality that is available only for the people that are producers and presenters. Mm-hmm. So we've seen a lot of organizations utilize that to be able to talk to each other and queue up people to ensure that they're aware when their time is.
Yeah, okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was announced earlier this week that we can now record directly to stream from mobile devices. However, in our testings with Teams live events, we weren't able to have a presenter from a mobile device. Is that feature coming?
So good question. I can't talk about specifics, but we work very closely together, Stream, Teams, and Yammer. As I mentioned, it's Microsoft 365 live events. We don't want to get in that position where, hey, it works one way, it doesn't work in another way. So rest assured, we are thinking about it as one problem, one solution. And again, as I mentioned, Teams live events allows you to do it quickly, and there are even quicker ways that we want to provide as well. And you just mentioned one, so it's on our top of our mind.
Thank you.
We have several Teams rooms and also have used live events, but then the question has been, can we use the Teams rooms to view the live events? And I haven't found a way. Is that maybe something that's coming?
No, great question. The question was, can you watch within a Teams room? Today we allow you to present in a Teams room, and it's great for a scenario around if CEO has a Teams room for himself. He comes in, he has great camera, great lighting, and he'll be able to go live very quickly, and it's great. Attending, we understand you want to be able to optimize people coming into one room to be able to watch instead of their own desktops, and it's more of a social thing as well, a social aspect of having everyone sitting. So it's definitely, you know, coming. It's something that we're thinking about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have 50,000 users. Do you have an ETA on being allowed to have more than 10,000 attendees?
I can't provide you with specific ETAs right now, unfortunately. I'm really sorry, everyone. I sound like a broken record. And again, I'll be very honest with you. What you said, I hear on a daily basis. Okay. Because of the fact that organizations are getting bigger and people are wanting to watch remotely instead of, like, you know, in a Teams environment in a conference room. So it's imperative for us to solve that as things progress. 10,000 is our limit right now. In the future, it might change based on certain abilities that we'll be introducing.
Okay, thank you.
Is CVI supported with presenters?
Great question again. That's something that's coming up very shortly. We are thinking about it in terms of, again, from a room system point of view, we do Teams room systems, but we need to do a CVI, VTC-based room systems as well, and optimize on the presenter scenario. So that's top of our mind, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry for the redundant question, but I just wanted to expand on the question that was asked about the Teams rooms. So is it that you cannot invite a team room as a attendee and join that meeting from the Teams room?
Yes, today you will be able to invite them in the scheduling process as a presenter, and they'll be able to only join as a presenter within the Teams room system.
Okay, thank you.
Today you can actually, today you have these questions and answers on live event, but it allows you to ask also the anonymous questions. Can we somehow disable that one? Because it makes perhaps people to be a bit rude and we want.
Yeah, no, we've gotten that asked numerous times, even within Microsoft, to be very candid. On the flip side, we encourage people to ask questions, and we realize, like, having a name attached to a question sometimes deters people from asking. But on the flip side, we understand that that producers as well as leadership want to be able to answer towards a person rather than asking anonymously. So it's something that's very very high priority for us to be able to solve. And it's something that that even, as I mentioned, even leadership within Microsoft is asking for as well. Cool. So everyone ready to hear about the Seahawks right now? So I can start, right? I'm joking. Anyways, thanks for joining, everyone. If this is it, I can stay at the end as well to answer any questions, and I'm more than happy to demo this for anyone that you're interested in a meeting afterwards, like when we get back to our respective cities. So thank you for joining, and yeah, enjoy.